Hello, my loves. This episode of the Self-Indulgent Series is dedicated to all the girls with big dreams living in dysfunction. I want to start by saying this is your reminder that you can absolutely be the one that makes it out. There are girls who are taking themselves out of poverty, out of adverse circumstances. They are changing their lives for the better. I did a series on my TikTok and so many girls DM'd me with so much to say, their stories. They wanted more advice. They had so many questions. Hence why I want to get into this video by going through two major pieces of advice I'm going to give to any girl who is going through dysfunction. And dysfunction can look like so many things, but specifically if you come from a low socioeconomic background and you're going through a really difficult time, whether it's through family, whether it's through just your environment, whether it's chaos you're surrounded by, or you're in an unsupportive environment and you're just looking for a way out, we're going to start drafting a healthy escape plan that will help you live your dream life, especially when you have big dreams. And it sometimes feel like when you're in dysfunction, when you're in adverse circumstances, it may feel like your dreams aren't taken off because you lack resources and you lack the ability to be able to actually pursue your life and your adventures in the way you want to pursue life and your adventures. It's very important for me to discuss how common this actually is. Over the last 2 years, I've been listening to so many podcasts and I've noticed a pattern around women that I found really inspiring and how transformative their lives have become. They grew up in poverty, in low socioeconomic backgrounds, in really adverse circumstances. Some of these women grew up in absolute deprivation. They did not let that hold them back. I'm not a psychologist or an expert. I'm just solely talking about the things I've been able to notice from women who have genuinely inspired me. I'm talking women like Viola Davis. I'm talking about women like Emma Grede. I'm talking about women like Melody Hobson. These women really transformed their lives in ways that was beyond what they had even imagined. They just wanted a better life for themselves and they got more than that. Realized it happens every day. Every day there is a girl who has come from poverty and she's making it into an Ivy League or a Russell Group university. There is a girl who has no resources but ends up building a business or an idea that transforms not only her life but her generations to come. There is a girl who is doing life's adventures in the way that she chooses and she wants. And there's also another girl in your city who's gotten a high-paying career just because she went for it. I feel like growing up in dysfunction can really stifle and suck the life out of you. It can drain you from all inspiration. And that's a separate video of how to be laser focused on your goal and also use that as a way to propel you into the next stratosphere, into another paradigm so you can achieve your dream life. There's two things I want to talk about in this video today. Why you need to build identity capital. And the second thing is how you can use reverse engineering to make a plan for your life using someone you aspire to be like. Building identity capital. What even is identity capital? I got identity capital from one of my favorite books, which is The Defining Decade 20, Why Your 20s Matter and How to Make the Most of Them Now by Meg J. I'm in my 20s, we know this, but identity capital was something I started building from when I was a teenager. I took myself out of my school environment because I realized they weren't giving enough resources for me. And I started applying to programs and schemes that were dedicated to women empowerment and helping young girls achieve their dreams and build employable young people. It'll be extracurricular stuff I would have to go to. It'll be this new scheme or this particular event or that particular mentorship program. And I did that with, it was a few of my friends. I would say it was me and another friend that we were so dedicated. And through these schemes, I was able to have mentors. I was able to do a program with Google. I ended up having a mentor who was a CEO of a tech startup. And she set up meetings with me with people from Chanel, people who were influential in the fashion industry, because at the time I was really interested in fashion. Meg J wrote this book that is dedicated for young people in their 20s and knowing how to make the most of it essentially and maximize your experience in your 20s and not just sit back and think your 20s are for you to just live life however you want, where rather your 20s are the building blocks in order for you to live the life that you want to live. It's basically going to be the trampoline you bounce off of into the rest of your life, and I believe that solely. But I don't even feel like some of the things that she talks about in her book apply only to your 20s. I think if you're in your late teens, you can start this. Even if you're in your 30s, you can also start building these skills, especially identity capital, I love to say I've lived many lives. I love to say that I've had so many experiences because I have. And identity capital can look like you doing particular things, taking yourself out of your comfort zone because you are trying to build new skills and assets, she calls them, that you can apply, and they could be transferable skills in other areas of your life. Not just in the job market alone, but you as a person, makes you more appealing, makes you more interesting. I'm going to give you some examples of things that I did. So in my late teens and 20s so far, I've been offered investment banking internships at top banks. I've been offered positions at Japanese marketing firms, specifically in their tech division, because I asked to be, and also I scored the highest in their recruitment process. I've also done international and national beauty pageants and won. I've had a fashion business. I've also volunteered. I've done hobbies like aerial silks. I've done public speaking. I have done so many things. And the reason why I did these things, and the reason why I tried such a vast amount of things, was because I was trying to find, where do I fit? Where is my place? Not realizing throughout all of these experiences, I was also acquiring identity capital because I had to work for these positions. Being offered an investment banking internship is not something that you just get. I had no prior knowledge of investment banking before I had applied for that. However, I can interview well, I can research and study very well, and because of that, they were like, yeah, we want her. I only was able to have this confidence because, again, in my teens, I put myself out there. These are the assets we're talking about when it comes to identity capital, whereby you're building confidence, you're building research skills, you're knowing how to speak to people, you're knowing how to present yourself, how to market yourself, how to sell yourself. Not only that, but you have a vast knowledge of different topics, so you're interesting. You become a very interesting person when you've done so many things. And the sole aim is not to do as many different things as possible. It's to do it with purpose and aligned to your interests. It's about character building. Doing beauty pageants have changed my life forever. With all of these things I've done, I ended up deciding to go to drama school. I ended up deciding to graduate from drama school. I've graduated with the first class, so I'm a professional actress. I talked about this in my last videos. I'm a voice actor, a presenter, and a filmmaker as well, and content creator, of course. I would not have been able to get to that point if I hadn't tried so many things, if I hadn't put myself out there intentionally. I can talk to anyone in any industry because I have a basic knowledge because I've done so many things. One thing that's so important is the power of relationships, not just relationships, but people, human beings. It's the value you extract from these experiences that you can apply to your life that being in chaos and dysfunction cannot teach you. The obvious thing about what's so valuable about building identity capital as well is the fact that you're going to be just highly employable. Let's be honest. You have skills, soft skills as well, that in an age of AI is very valuable right now. And when I listen again to the women that I found so inspiring and their stories, and there's been so many, not just the 3 I've named in this video, there's been so many. One thing I noticed about them is they went for the adventure of life. They went for the adventure because they knew that life was theirs for the taking. This is about investing in yourself in a way that only you can. This is how you can start to build your bank of resources that can benefit you in the future. Look at your life and look at what you don't have and go and get it. That's it. That's literally it. Don't let yourself feel shame or feel less than for not having or for growing up in dysfunction or chaos or deprivation. Just look at what you don't have and go and get it. And this will mean you have to work hard. This will mean you have to come out of your comfort zone and put yourself in circumstances that will make you sweat. Trust me, there are girls doing that every day. And obviously I'm taking it to the biggest of the biggest because this is for the girls with the big dreams, okay? If you have big dreams, this is the conversation we're having. Look at your life, look at what you want, and look at what you do not have and figure out a way to get it. That's it. And I think the journey is the most beautiful thing because what you acquire, how you change, the experiences you have. Going to Mexico and doing an international beauty pageant and being top 10 in a beauty pageant. Obviously, the beauty pageant got shut down. It was a whole lot of scandal. That's another video. However, that experience was one of the most life-changing experiences. And I created that experience for myself. I created that. I was able to live a life of adventure. It's not even like it's one of, but I have like 10, 50. I have so many. But you need to be able to say that, and you need to be able to have fun with this journey. And of course, you can be specific and be laser focused on building identity capital in your specific dream, in your big dream. So do that. The next thing, to all the girls with big dreams living in dysfunction, we're going to be talking about how to make your escape plan. And one of the ways I would suggest doing this is by reverse engineering someone's career path you aspire to be like. So you're going to pick one person and you're going to go on their Wikipedia page, go on their website, go on their YouTube, and acquire as much information about their life before their success. And you're going to write down everything they did and basically make a plan. The great thing about today's day and age is there's usually an interview of someone talking about how they started. For example, for me, Viola Davis. You can listen to their story on podcasts or interviews, and you can hear how they basically created their dream life. I would suggest start with one person and then go move on to a second person. Your goal is to have about 3 people. 2 of them should be 2 people that have come from similar circumstances to you. Another person who is just aspirational because they're aspirational. They've just acquired an amazing life and you just love their life and you love their work or you love their career and you think that is the pinnacle of success for you. It's about collecting data, and the more data you collect, the more information you will have to work from. As an actress, there are so many career paths when it comes to acting. I have had to do more than 3 people. I've had to do quite a lot of people. But with doing this, it means I'm able to just realize, okay, there's no clear path and I get to pick what I want to do specifically. For you, if you're interested in, for example, in fashion marketing, music, investment banking, you want a high-paying job in a specific career, that's great. You want to be a doctor. They're kind of paths that are very clear and linear. In doing this, you need to look at a few things. You need to ask yourself, what school did they go? What programs and courses did they do? What extracurriculars did they do? What did they do for their GCSEs or their A-levels? Did they go to an Ivy League or Russell Group university? Do you know all of the Ivy League and Russell Group universities? Did they stay in London or did they go somewhere else? Did they start a business? If so, what business did they start? How much did they start this business with? How much of their own money did they use to start this business? Or did they get funding? And if so, how can you start this business with £300? And the most important thing is, how do they manage their money? And I know for some people, information might not be out there as much. For example, for like celebrities or actors, they may not talk so much about their history and relationship with money. If they don't have information about how they spent their money, can you spend time to go and learn about financial literacy and how to invest? Is it a case of you actually investing right now and investing in the stock market? Or is it a case of you investing your money into yourself? So building skills, taking extra classes, learning that particular language. The important thing is that you build a scaffolding for your life and what you're going to do and step-by-step plan. This is you building your strategy, your escape plan, I love to say. Once you've done this reverse engineering exercise and you've implemented it into your life and your circumstances and what you can and can't do based off of the information that you've received and the resources you actually have, through this strategic plan, you have to build your schedule. Now we take it even more niche and even more personal, where you're going to create your everyday schedule. So the plan is essentially like a goals list of things you're going to need to do, but then you're breaking it down into a more simplified and practical form of you being able to execute this every day. And the way you can execute this every day is through building a day-to-day schedule. And one of the ways I was able to do this is through my signature weekly schedule that I have linked below. You can create a blueprint for your life by just doing this reverse engineering technique. You schedule your day to day, you schedule your time specifically, you schedule your life. Okay, Monday is this, Tuesday is this, Wednesday is this, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. And of course, you're going to schedule a rest day. You're going to schedule a day you're going to film content. You're going to schedule a day when you're going to read. You're going to schedule a day when you're going to send out emails to 5 to 10 people. You're going to schedule these things because you've now created a plan. You've now seen 3 people you've been inspired by in their journey, and you're going to now try to implement this. But it's about taking that big chunk, blueprint of the life you want to live, and now implementing it into your day-to-day of how you can tick these things off one by one. So I use my signature weekly schedule to go through day by day of what I need to do, so that even in the moments where I'm overwhelmed, I remember what my goal is. I never forget what the plan is. I may feel overwhelmed one day and I completely forget I don't even know what I'm meant to do today. I can go to my weekly schedule and I can quickly have a look on my phone. Okay, today I'm gonna just plan some content, or today I'm actually just gonna plan emails, or today I'm gonna read. Today I need to write my script. The main thing is to stick to it, and stick to it as much as you can. I get it, life happens, but you still have to be laser focused and tenacious on sticking with something. Be the peace and the predictability in your life of chaos and dysfunction. And this is how you're going to create these structures, because I think that's all it is. And even if you're doing, for example, a winter curriculum and you're learning about a particular subject, you can add that into your weekly schedule, which I love to do. And of course, scheduling a day to rest and a day to reflect and a day to read. And I have a day where I sit down and go through my budget, make sure I put all of my income and expenses onto my Notion and my budget tracker and everything. So I never have a day where I feel like, oh my God, what am I meant to do today? Or I forget, or I feel overwhelmed. This is my message and advice to girls living in dysfunction with big dreams. And just a reminder, like I said, there are girls doing it every single day. They are achieving their goals, they're living their dream lives, coming from adverse circumstances and deprivation and poverty, and they are changing their lives for the better. You can too. Mwah.